Hi, I'm Omni Sunday. Things are a little rough this week to say the least, so I thought I'd do a silly video about little critters instead of talking about fascist blood worshippers taking over a continent in the name of religion. Let's get started. In a forested island called Eidolon, there aren't really any people nowadays. When people did come back in the day, the Nushas specifically, they found the forest to be quite difficult to live in. There were monsters hiding in the dark, confounding them at every twist and turn. One critter though seemed to make it easier. People said it was the spirit of old kings, there to advise the people. The advice seemed to be, leave. This is the King Tamarin. It's not actually that smart and doesn't actually talk to people, but it does have a silly resemblance to some Nushas. It's social with other Tamarins, but doesn't do well in captivity. They live together in groups of up to 100, and they can even form friendships with Tamarins of other species. They tend to form monogamous partnerships with another Tamarin for their whole lives, and have been known to partner with another of the same sex. That's right, these little guys are gay. Instead of making babies, these gay pairs can take care of the babies that can't be taken care of, whether it's because they were orphaned or if the parents couldn't take care of a baby for whatever reason. This can be seen in a few other animals like penguins, and might be an explanation for the evolutionary purpose of same-sex attraction. Not that it needs an evolutionary explanation, since evolution just does what works. It's based on random changes, and if a change makes an animal more or less likely to reproduce, that's what works. For example, primates like the King Tamarin aren't able to synthesize vitamin C. That happened by random chance, but wasn't really a problem because primates tend to eat a lot of fruit, which already has vitamin C. Basically, what I'm saying is that evolution is just some random thing. We're a result of it, which is pretty cool, but evolution shouldn't be viewed as some kind of respectable force. Nobody owes evolution anything, so feel free to do whatever you want. Be gay and all that. It's a good long life we get, but we only get one, so make the most of it in every way you can, as long as you're not taking the same opportunity away from others. Anyway, another little critter on origin is the Creamwyrm. It's one of a strange group of fungi called the sophoid mushrooms. These fungi have developed something like a nervous system, allowing them to move around similarly to animals. The Creamwyrm is part of a more specific group called the sophid mushrooms. These ones have something like a brain, though it works very differently from brains we're used to and is difficult to understand. The Creamwyrm is in the genus Pseudomycetes, since it's related to the false bath shroom that people didn't realize was actually a mushroom till recently. A fully grown Creamwyrm likes to hide in creamy food and drink, so it gets consumed by a person. Symptoms of consuming a Creamwyrm are acute headaches and temporary blindness, but in the longer term will cause a month-long cough about 2 weeks after consumption. These coughs are rich with spores that probably grow new Creamwyrms somehow. Also, in case you were wondering, Creamwyrms don't taste like cream. They've been described as bitter and earthy, but once it's in your mouth, it's already too late. They sorta melt in there. It's not incredibly uncommon to purposely boil a Creamwyrm into a stew to get the headaches and, more importantly, blindness without the living spores. Why would you do that? I don't know. You tell me why someone would want whoever's eating their food to be blind for a day or so. Sophid mushrooms have very simple but also very complex brains. Not that there's that much diversity, but that they have both at the same time. For example, if you say a Creamwyrm's name in Anthroposan, pronounced like Kinbeoti, it will abandon its disguise and scurry away. Their brains must be quite simple if their response to stimulus like that is predictably the same every time, but also the pathway for it to respond in such a way to speech must be complex, right? Why does it do that? Does it know something we don't? Is it just random chance that it reacts that way to its own name? Anyway, it's common tradition in Anthropos to say, "Come out, Creamwyrm," before eating something creamy. Despite this, it's not as uncommon as you'd think for people to get a Creamwyrm infection. I guess people still forget to ask it to leave. Lastly, I want to talk about the Pipsqueak. It's the smallest known pterosaur and part of a nocturnal group of them with whiskers and an especially high metabolism. Its closest living relative is the giant Nomwen, and it lives in similar areas. A Pipsqueak only weighs 4 grams and can fly with unexpected agility. It's about 6 centimeters long including the tail, and often is confused for some sort of insect. Not much is known about Pipsqueaks, but they like to eat insects and they usually hang around street lamps and other lights at night to catch moths. That's all I got for this video. Check out my Patreon where you can subscribe for just $1 a month, support me, and get your name at the end of my videos. Thanks Captain Kobop, Art of Dying, and Mr. Kill. I've got a Spec Evo Pokemon in the works where I try to figure out the phylogeny of Pokemon, and then of course there's the Spec Anthropology Humans where I can delve into the story of the blood-worshipping Anthroposians. Hope to see you then, and thanks for watching.